Hey everybody, this is Brad Bruce and I'm with
Jason Marsiglia.
And you're listening to the 5195 podcast, episode 6.
Episode 6.
How you doing?
Good, man. Tired.
Yeah. Tired?
What a day.
Why are you tired?
Today was very productive out here in good old sunny California.
Yeah?
Yep.
What'd you do?
What did I do?
What did you do?
Wink, wink. We did some stuff, man. We had some meetings and cruised around and did some promotional stuff. It was just a good day.
Yeah.
It didn't go by too fast. We were able to kind of savor some moments.
Yeah.
I think we were laying some pretty cool foundations today for some awesome stuff.
Like you said last episode, new beginnings.
New beginnings, my man.
You know, you're totally right. You know, the past year and a half, the industry has been so out of my mind.
Sure.
I want to do it. It's just there was no desire to do it.
It's ever present, just not a priority.
Yeah.
You know.
There were things that happened that kind of was like slowly pulling me back.
I would imagine living out here, it'd be hard to avoid to some degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it would always be floating just nearby. You know, you'd see it, acknowledge it, move on if you're not really down with it.
Yeah, well, like, especially working in LA for so long and knowing all the production houses and what studios are where and going there for so long and doing that and being a part of it and then all of a sudden not doing it but still being in the town for a different business. It was refreshing after doing that for so long, which not that long, but it was still a few years of doing that. I still would, drive by a place and be like, oh, we shot something over there. It was kind of like, oh, memories.
Yeah.
And then after COVID started to kind of settle, I reached out to a couple of friends that are still currently in the business to see if they still wanted to be my friend.
Yeah.
And, obviously they did. And so the first one was Jimmy Duvall. And I hit him up. And of course it was like, we never stopped. So that was nice. It was cool. And same thing with Manfredini.
Yeah.
So, I'd hit him up and, we had went and had lunch and dinner with him a few times and everything was cool. There was just like, I'm not going to say epiphany, but light switch of like, okay, I want to make a movie.
Yeah. The bug has returned.
Yeah. Because my Vinyl Redemption script really started popping back in because I think it would just be something super fun to do. And now I have this, I can do it on my own terms.
Yep, for sure this time.
Even with the crew I was working with, that's not there no more. So the hangups that I would have already knew I was going to face going into a feature, even that's not there.
Right.
So now it's even a little more exciting to be able to do this and not have to wonder about, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And that's liberating. You and I started talking more and more.
Yeah.
And then maybe it's time for you to come back out. Let's do some work.
Yeah.
We were kicking the idea around about the podcast. I had told you, and you had done a couple before.
Yeah.
And I had done a couple. So I was like, why not just give it a shot?
Sure.
After months of planning, you landed. And
Yes.
and we went into it, and we did pretty well, and
I think so.
I think so too, I do.
Not that I had any reservations or any doubt that sitting down here with you and collaborating in real time would be weird or that we wouldn't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
Because me, I'm not, it sounds funny saying I'm not collaborative. I've not collaborated. I've had people give me an outline. I've had people say, this is the script. Can you make it better? But I've never sat across from someone and was like, we're doing this together right now. Even with your Desolate years ago, you threw me the script and asked me to punch it up a little bit. And that wasn't collaborative. That was me doing something, kicking it back, you doing something, maybe kicking it back, which is a way, that is a process. But there's really nothing that beats sitting in a room together and just banging something out, and just being like, oh, that's a great idea and get it down,
Yeah.
Because, there's a big disconnect and a chasm. I think, the week or so I've spent out here just working, it's been productive. It's been very productive. We've had plenty of time to goof around and hit up some restaurants and, and all that. But it's been a work week.
Totally.
And it's been awesome. It's been awesome to be able to stretch that creativity out again with someone and get excited about it again.
Yeah.
Above all, you know.
Yeah. Like, I'm on the other side of that. I've collaborated a lot in face-to-face with, like, in a writer's room with, like, 10 other people.
Yeah.
Whether it be for, like, a show or a movie or whatever, you know. And it was being in a writer's room was, like, for me, especially being new, was super scary because it was almost like we were like caged animals, and they would like open the door and like throw in the raw meat, and everyone was kind of like fighting to get to it. And then it was almost like everyone had something to prove to kind of outshine everyone else in the room.
Sure.
And it was a little scary, you know, at the beginning.
It's Survivor all of a sudden. You're trying to see who the weak link is and if they're going to get voted off the island.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, just as you know, kind of a lone wolf in this whole thing, that sounds like pure chaos to me.
It was scary.
I think it would fuck up my creativity in a way. I think it would stifle it because I'm more stressed about what everyone in the room thinks. Are we connecting as writers? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you going to shoot down this idea? You know, it's just there's so many factors when there's so many cooks in the kitchen that I don't think I feel like I'd go into that with some trepidation that would fuck me up. Yeah. You know. Yeah. But again, like you said, that was television and stuff for the most part, and that is, from a writing standpoint, a very collaborative environment. That's something that very rarely do you see. This was written by one dude. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And if it was, it's usually like a showrunner who knows where he's steering the ship. Yeah. But yeah, something
well, it's cool because you can literally write one joke and then get a writer's credit.
Right. And
you
that's...
What and you know what? And
it just blows me away.
And also, that's kind of a double-edged sword. It's cool, but then it's also like, am I really writing?
Right. I feel like I contributed something.
Yeah.
You know, that's why ghostwriting or script improvement, it makes sense that not everyone's name's on it because these things change hands a lot. Yeah. And every movie would have like a dozen writers or something on it.
I can say honestly, ghostwriting was the greatest.
Sure.
For me. Was the best. It genuinely was. And because I had best of both worlds, because I had the ability to write on something and have complete detachment from it.
Because it's not yours.
Yeah, and then with that, I also got genuine reaction.
What do you mean?
Like, if something I wrote or punched up on a script got used, I could see, like, if I was sitting in a movie theater watching something, how a joke would land with the audience.
Oh, I see.
And it was like no one knew. You know, and like that was cool. You know, sure. And like I never, like honestly, fame, money was never a factor for me in this. Like I never wanted fame. Never was like worried about the money. I just wanted to have the connection with this world that I love so much.
Right.
You know, and so when
you just want to live here.
And that was the thing is like when ghostwriting came up, there was a manager who basically was like, I went to go meet with about a short film I was doing. I was talking to him about getting one of his actors. Yeah. And he was talking about this script that fell on his desk. He had to hire someone to punch it up and this and that. And he was like, the writer that wrote it wants 100% credit. And so we're just going to hire someone to punch it up, get paid, but zero connection to the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a thing?
Yeah.
And I was like, can I see it? And so while we're waiting on the actor to show up, I start reading this thing. And then on my phone in my notes, I'm like writing, here, like, we'll do this, or we'll do that. You know, he says this, he says that. I showed him. He didn't chuckle because I think most agents, managers are kind of devoid of soul.
Okay.
But I think he saw, ooh, this might be easier for me.
I see what you did there, and it's hilarious.
And yeah, pretty fucking close. So I actually kind of begged him for the job.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, fine. Give you a shot. I'll, give it back to me in a week.
Yeah.
And I was like, how much needs to be punched up? and he had notes.
Oh, okay.
What needed work.
So you had a map.
I did have a map. Although, I used their map, but then I did the whole script and turned it back into him.
Okay.
Now, still because of like NDA things,
Yeah.
I can say out of my first time doing this, they used about 75% of what I gave them.
That's awesome, though.
And I was fucking shocked because I thought maybe a few things.
A few lines, maybe,
Yeah. And then when I saw it, I was just like, oh my God, like, that's fucking cool. I was happy because I was not known.
Yeah.
And it was like the best of both worlds because it was like I was doing it, but I didn't have to worry about anything.
But you got to be invisible.
And it was awesome.
You got that superpower.
Yeah, it was. It was really cool. It was fun. But
is there any part of you that's like, if that movie hits or starts getting accolades, awards, is there ever a part of you that's like, it's because of me. I did that.
That's not the direction I thought you were going to go in. That's fucking hilarious.
Because I just mean, instinctively, we're just as creatures, we seek approval. And I wonder, because I've never done this for anybody, but it's one of those deals where I'm like, if you saw something take off and you were at ground zero script and you're just like, being invisible, kind of sucks right now because everyone is partying off of this, and damn it,
I
can't say shit.
Yes, it has.
Your script was garbage.
Yeah. And here, let me show you.
Okay, shut the fuck up. Well,
so yeah,
yeah, okay.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. What's up?
For some reason, I thought there was a dip.
Well, you want chips?
I was looking for some French onion.
Yeah, so here's the thing.
That wasn't a hit right away, though.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't a hit until much later. Like, it became a cult thing.
Definitely. And I'm literally trying to skate this topic.
Oh, I know. I'm not going to give anything away.
I'm trying so hard because it's like, I wish. But this is almost like a fucking lifetime NDA where I know, like, I would be sued.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
And I totally respect it, and I'm so sorry.
Especially knowing that guy.
Uh-huh.
He would sue.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Even though someone in his camp was like, you should keep him around forever.
Really?
Yeah.
Someone pulled him aside and was just like, you got yourself a golden goose over here.
That's who said it.
Wow.
Okay, so we'll stop doing this. But yeah. I wish I could tell everyone, or I wish I could put that on. Like, I don't have an IMDb, because I never wanted one. I have had other people do them for projects, but I used to just take them down.
For yourself?
Yeah. I would take myself out of it.
I have one, and I don't really care. It's not really updated a whole lot. But if anyone were to ask, here's the link. There you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't really, it's not like I've got my IMDb as my home screen.
Right.
I don't care. But it's nice when a friend or a family member is just like, you were involved in this, or this. And I go, yeah, here's my IMDb. Check it out. Here, go look for those if you want, And that's nice. And it's a good shorthand way of not having to sit here and jerk off. It's just kind of like, yeah, here, I did these movies. And just let you fucking research yourself. But that's kind of what I use it for. It's sort of a business card.
I get it. I get that.
But I could see where people, maybe particularly actors and actresses, they're just like, dude, I was in this. I was in,
Yeah.
And and I understand that 100%, the excitement of being validated. Like, dude, I got an IMDb. But people like us who are more behind the camera, it's there more as a resume.
I am a 100% unknown. Now, that's my journey. That's my doing.
And just so our listeners are aware, you're cool with that.
100%.
Right.
Because, like I said, that was my journey.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted that. Like, I remember after we shot Michael with Sean Whalen, it was selected by a short film festival out in LA. Me and my sound guy and someone else went. It was cool because we were premiering with that Jennifer Lynch documentary, Despite the Gods. I don't know if you've ever seen that or not.
I've not.
Okay. She shot a movie in India.
Okay.
about this woman that like becomes a snake. And it was just where everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Wow.
And this whole thing was documented.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if you've ever met Jennifer or are familiar with a lot of her movies. She's fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. Like, I love everything she does. I love her outlook, her personality, like everything about her. She is just a rad person.
Okay.
Like, I love Jennifer Lynch. Just the fact that, like, something I did was attached to...
It's a feather.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, that was so cool. So I actually ended up going to the premiere because I never go to any stuff like that. I just don't like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Not that it's bad. It's just not for me.
It's not your scene.
So we went and they were showing some other films in this anthology that we had done. Mm-hmm. This audience was fucking brutal.
Really?
Oh, God, were they brutal. And I started really stressing out.
Yeah.
Because they were ripping these movies apart.
Oof.
They're laughing at a scene that should not be laughed at.
Oh, that's painful.
I mean, where that's
hard to watch.
This writer-director was writing a scene about an abortion.
Yeah.
And it was from the standpoint of the baby.
Ooh.
Where it's just like, I can't wait to see you, mommy. Like, what are you doing? What is that?
Oh,
no. And I was like... And people are laughing and mocking it.
Oh, my God.
Right in front of me. Director.
Oh, my God.
You could watch him just slink into his seat.
Oh.
And just put his hand in his head. To where the person next to him was like elbowing him like, it's okay.
Trying to console him. And
so, you know, a couple of them go by. And my film starts on a black screen with a music cue. That's what starts it.
Okay.
And I knew mine was up.
Yeah.
And I just went like,
here we go.
Oh my God. And then, you know, it started and it's like we have that establishing shot of this old farmhouse. And then we cut to interior, Sean walking in the frame and he's just talking all this crazy rhetoric. And he walks over to this workbench just full of all these blood-stained archaic tools. And then like he slams his hand down and then we cut to... He has a guy like tied to a chair with his mouth taped. And the audience was just like, oh.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah. And then he talking about all I wanted to do was just save your soul. And what did you do? You flipped me off with this hand right here and takes his hand and puts it on an anvil. And then duct tapes his hand to it and then pulls out a hammer. And the guy's like screaming like, no, no. And Sean's like, shh, shh, shh.
He's like Margaret White.
Yeah. And then just proceeds to obliterate his hand where chunks fly out, bones are exposed, there's blood spraying, the guy is screaming.
Yeah.
And the audience was just like, oh my God, and turning away and like, holy shit. And then the whole thing went through, the movie ended, and they fucking clapped.
Wow.
And like I looked at him and I was like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
And we literally got up and like walked out. We were like on the way home and one of the MCs of the show was just like, okay, everyone's ready. We're going to do the Q&A now.
Oh my.
And I was like, oh dude, I'm gone.
We're fucking out of here.
And he started laughing. He's like, no, seriously, we need you over here. People actually want to talk to you and they're curious.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, dude, I'm gone. And he was like, wow. People are going to be disappointed.
Yeah, but
you know,
that's an earned disappointment. It's kind of cool because it could have been completely other way where they wanted to make fun of the fucking guy for the stupid movie he did. And instead you had them. And I didn't leave because like I'm just too good to talk to somebody. At the time I just wasn't into that. I actually kind of would have almost looked at it like we won. Let's leave before it turns. Yeah. You know, I'm just like, let's leave on a high. Yeah. Let's just go before something ruins the night. Definitely. I mean, you know, this business, it is really fun, you know, and again, I think we've said it before that it's like, you know, we're fans first. Yes. I know I'm a fan of this stuff first. I love this stuff so much. As much as I would love to entertain someone with some of my work, if it doesn't entertain me first and foremost... Yeah. It goes in the scrapyard. I always write what I want to see. Yeah, me too. I mean, even right down to the type of monster or whatever, yeah. I'm writing it as that would look cool. That's what I want to see. You know, it sounds greedy, but that's how you make a good story because you don't know how many people are going to connect with something that you didn't think they would. Yeah. You know, that's what's cool about it is you'd be surprised how many people agree with you. Mm-hmm. You know,
Yeah.
you just got to get over that trepidation and that ego and go, I'll put this out there.
Yeah.
It'll connect with somebody. Because we all know that there are shitty fucking movies out there that have fans.
Yeah. Definitely.
There isn't a movie out there that has 0 fans.
I'm guilty of that.
I don't give a fuck about tomato meters or any of that shit.
No, me neither.
There is somebody who likes that movie, even if no one else does.
Yeah.
And that's a whole separate topic for another day.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I want to do before while we still have some time, today, part of what we were doing today was we kind of explored a new avenue, I think, because we tend to do stuff, I don't want to say 101, but we have a pattern that we follow, and we kind of started kicking the tires of crowdfunding today, thanks to your...
Assistant director, producer, and
Jane of all trades,
and friend, composer.
Yes.
And I'm not like anti, like, you know, flag planted, you know, crowdfunder. I just don't know it.
Me
and
neither.
I had a lot of like questions about it.
Sure. And I mean, the only experience I've had with it is pledging.
Yeah. Same.
I've never run anything.
Same.
I've never looked into how the sausage was made.
As well.
But Tina floated the idea for vinyl. Why don't we crowdfund this?
Yeah.
And I think crowdfunding gets a bad rap because it sounds like you're putting your hat on the sidewalk and playing the guitar.
That's what I thought.
I think that's what most people think.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
And I'm still not 100% like, fuck yeah, let's go.
No, but it was an interesting view.
Yeah. And so I think what we should really get into is this morning we jumped up and we jammed down to Burbank.
Yep.
And we met with Harry Manfredini at Pinocchio's.
Yep.
And we just kind of brought it up, and because I was like not anti to the point of like, you know, you can never change my mind, but
no, but it just didn't sound like an avenue you wanted to pursue.
Yeah, and it's because I, like you said, I didn't know anything about it.
No, and that's the thing. Even if you said no, I feel like it was with a caveat.
Yeah.
Like, let me look into this, even though I'm kind of ambivalent.
And, you know, Harry had some great suggestions and points about it.
He did. He mentioned things that I didn't even consider.
Because I was worried about it. And again, this is not a knock to anyone who's crowdfunded.
Which is super common.
Yeah.
Some of the best indie/documentaries I've seen have been crowdfunded.
And I think that's why now... after today and realizing a lot of that stuff, that I'm more open to the idea now.
Yeah.
You know, because I had actually talked to him about it, and I was like, okay, you know, like let's give it a shot then.
Right.
You know, and you know, so Tina was like, well, then I'll put a campaign together. I'll put some perks together, and we'll, you know, set up a location to do some videos for promoting it.
Right.
With some of the actors, and, you know, Harry agreed to do it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, how can I say no to that?
Right.
You know? Because like Harry said, what's the worst thing that happens? No one crowdfunds? Your life is not changing.
No.
You just think of another way to make the movie.
You just go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's dead in the water.
And you know what? What I think is... the script with the people attached will speak for itself.
Yeah.
You know, so now I'm a little more excited about it, about what could I do to get it going.
What's funny is with that idea floated by Tina.
Yeah.
And all of us kind of mulling over it over brunch or lunch, whatever. It felt like Vinyl Redemption kind of got fast-tracked all of a sudden.
It really did.
Did you feel the train leave the station
it really
while we were
did.
at the table?
It really did.
It was just kind of like, okay, we could do this, 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 and this. And Harry was literally like, So get to work,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Get that script out, and we're looking at each other like, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get to work because suddenly with that one seed planted, we were like, wow, this could work, and we probably need to hurry up and make this work.
Right. Because you know what? The way this happened, the organic way, I like. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm more like, the points that were made, I'm more like, okay, let's really explore it.
Yeah.
And again, because of my quote unquote career in this business, pretty much all being gone now,
Yeah.
I am starting over brand new and putting myself out there as a name
Yeah.
and as a commodity.
Yep.
Now, I'm not going to be just, talking about what happened, but now I'm just like, what's going to happen.
Right.
So technically, I'm a new filmmaker and I'm just starting in this business.
Sure.
So luckily enough, I know a lot of people and a lot of tricks and how to make things happen now.
All from previous navigation.
Yeah. So it's like, I want to make my movies with my friends our way.
Yeah.
So it's like, what better way than to do it with the fans
Sure.
and give the fans a really cool opportunity to be a part of some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think looking at the last few movies that have come out, indie and mainstream, I think the fans really need some good old-fashioned 80s hard R horror comedy movies.
Sure.
I really do.
Not something as a gimmick or a lark, just a true throwback to a fun era.
Just extremely fun.
Yeah.
And something that's timeless and has rewatchability.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these 80s movies did for us that we
Sure.
still watch continuously.
Absolutely.
So it's like, I want to kind of get, I want to have my love letter to the 80s
yeah.
and something that like the fans will appreciate and I'll appreciate.
Yeah.
So now it's like, I'm starting fresh and I'm starting with the fans as well.
Yes.
Because I'm a fan too. So I'm really excited about this. Mm-hmm. I'm really, really excited. And also because Harry was excited.
He was.
And the fact that like we started punching the script up.
Uh-huh.
And now we're doing it on, because we used to write on Final Draft.
Yes.
And Del Howison, who owns Dark Delicacies, mentioned Fade In to me.
Yeah.
And I told you, and you grabbed a copy.
Mm-hmm.
I had a copy. And now we're literally collaborating on different coasts.
In real time.
In real time.
Yeah.
And it's like, we had one night while you were here, we started punching up the vinyl script and really tightening it up. And it was amazing to sit here across from you.
Yep.
And collaborate and really hone this script in and dial these jokes in and dial, these everything in. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Like I was excited again. And
Me too.
When we're basically reading the script to each other.
Yes.
And I'm over here laughing at something that I wrote years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so maybe that's like a good sign that shit's still funny, or I'm just immature. Mm-hmm. Regardless, I'm counting on the millions of people that are immature like us are going to get this movie.
Yes.
And speaking of Del, after Pinocchio's, we all shot over, Harry included, 2 Dark Delicacies, hung out with Del for a while, which Del is one of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. I love Del. And too. Sue, his wife. I wish she was there, but she wasn't.
This will be the second time I've not
met Sue.
Yeah, it's always hilarious. Been Del, which is cool. I love Del, but Sue, Sue is just this, she's this mythical person that I always hear the greatest things about.
She's amazing.
So
like
Sue,
they're both.
One of these days we got to chat.
I literally like think like Del and Sue are like they're horror's parents.
Yes,
they really are.
Yeah,
because they have Home, which is Dark Delicacies, that all the kids want to go.
Yeah,
and play. Mm-hmm. And so when we told Del like what we were doing, and I was just like, man, he would be perfect for this record store owner. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I was like, hey, how do you feel about jumping in front of the camera?
Yeah.
And he was receptive.
He was. And what's funny, he was doing that character without knowing it.
Yeah.
There were moments in today's visit where he'd make a joke or a smarmy line or something, and we'd look at each other like,
there it is. Yeah, there it is.
That's the guy, and he wasn't even trying.
Yeah.
That's just Dell.
Having him, with some interest and possibly being involved, great.
Yep.
And so it's crazy how since you've gotten here, literally this has risen from the ashes.
It really has, and fast.
And very fast.
Yeah.
So now we're moving forward with it. So we'll be able to promote the Instagram and whatever else we do with Vinyl Redemption and like the Indiegogo campaign or GoFundMe, whatever they decide to choose. Because I don't even know what's around anymore.
Me neither.
Like whatever the best avenue is, I'm sure, Tina will be able to find it. Because what did Harry called her the cleric?
Yeah.
So it's like whatever like the pencil pusher comes up with, then that's what I go with.
100% trust in her too.
She's
really clever with that stuff.
Yeah. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Like I'm super cool with that. I'm really excited.
But what's funny though is everything you said about crowdfunding and having a fan connection.
Yeah.
They're doing it right now.
Yeah.
Because yes, next episode after that, we're going to have actual topics. This is a pop culture show.
For sure.
But you're going to be with us every step of it's almost like a Blu-ray commentary / behind the scenes thing. You're here from ground zero, and we're kind of giving you updates as they happen.
Yeah.
Granted, who knows when this will be done or whatever, or how far into the process will be when you get around to listening to this one, if you're just joining us. But you're kind of here from inception in a weird way.
Yeah.
And, we're not going to bogart the hour with what did you do today, but you're going to get updates clear up until it's made, I would imagine. And
for sure.
I think that's pretty cool that you're along for the ride with us.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
So to me, that's a unique thing. It's one thing when you have filmmakers who have podcasts and they're just like, what you working on today? Oh, I went over here and we did this, this, and this. No, we're kind of like, we're letting you in on the creative process.
Yeah.
And hopefully through our shows, it bolsters something in you that gives you the confidence to pursue this as well. Gives you ideas, gives you avenues. So I really appreciate the listeners that we have, and I really hope that you guys get what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And it's not that deep. Of course, next week we're going to talk about something completely different. But we hope you appreciate, just kind of a look behind the curtain and just going for the ride with us, and maybe it'll help you if this is what you're pursuing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you're not pursuing it and you just think we're a couple funny fucks, whatever, I'm cool with that too.
Same.
As long as you're at work and you're smirking, or just straight up laughing and your coworkers think you're a psycho, just say, it's these fucks I listen to every now and again.
Because I think we will get to the point to where we'll have an email to give out where people want to, write in questions. We can answer them on air.
That would be cool.
And just really be engaging and interactive with the listeners.
Yeah.
Because remember, like, we're just fans too. Two fans trying.
And specifically, fans of the 80s. Vinyl Redemption is going to be an 80s throwback. Just 80s fun, 80s excess. And next episode, why don't we talk a little bit about why that decade was so influential?
Oh, that's a great idea.
You think so?
Yeah, I like that.
Because we glean a lot of our inspiration from that decade.
Definitely.
So
definitely.
And if you're kind of a cinema newbie, maybe we'll give you some ideas about some things to hunt down.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
All good?
I love it. All right, man. Well, until next time.
See you guys.